Everybody, ladies, the yarn girl. Uh-oh, I have, right, I think I'm the one that has um, audio issues right now. So if our audience can hear me, I know you're out there watching. Good evening, everybody. It's me, the Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl. It's Monday night, and this is Twisted Stitches. Jillian, can you hear me? Because I had to turn off my volume. Let's just make sure everybody can hear me. Hold on a minute, ladies. Sorry about that. They're all saying hello, but nobody's in. Oh, yes, Nancy said she can hear me. Okay, good. All right, everybody. We are so happy. What a great weekend we had with our wonderful Noro Magazine launch. And we are continuing that launch with all of you tonight here joining us for a preview of some of the fashions from the magazine number 23. And we are going to get right into it with our wonderful guests tonight. We have Carla Scott from Noro Magazine, Nicky Epstein, Sandi Prosser, and Deborah Newton. Wow, what a bunch of headliners we have. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and welcome.
Thank you.
Can you hear me, Carla?
Absolutely, yes.
I don't have volume from you.
You don't have volume from me?
I don't hear anybody.
Hi. That's because you turned your volume off.
Let me see. Okay, good.
Can you hear it now?
Yep, better. That was me. Okay, that was me. I just wanted to make sure I'd have everybody here. I'm going to say hello to all of our fans. In just a moment, I'm going to ask Carla to get started because we've got a lot to cover.
Okay, welcome everyone, and thank you for coming. And the fall season is here, and it's a little bit chilly. I'm out in East Hampton, and it's a little cold out here. I don't know where everyone else is, but I'm here to talk about the Noro issue number 23. And I always love working on this issue, and we've got a lovely cover in Tassagori, which is one of the new yarns from Noro. And we had a lot of fun stories. We had a Western themed story, which was really cool, and the beautiful colors of all the Noro yarns. We've got sweaters, yokes, top down. We got to talk about top down. Everyone's doing top down these days. Sandi, it's a really big thing, and we're going to do some more of that in the next issue. And that's another. I won't. I'll talk about that later. We've got a color block theme. That's a really important trend in fashion, and color is what Noro's all about. So we did a fun story in color blocks, and we've got an accessory story with balaclava and arm warmers and super simple, a beautiful entrelac cowl and scarf in very neutral colors. And, even though Noro is known for their colors, they do some beautiful neutrals as well. And they're fairly easy too. And we've got some decorating afghans and pillows also in some neutrals. And our star of this issue is Nicky Epstein, very, very good friend of mine, who I'm so happy you made it, Nicky. Did an absolutely gorgeous sweater. And she's going to talk about that in a little bit, and with some embroidery, which is very, very, also very important fashion, the embroidery on knits, which is very cool. And hers was tone on tone, and we had a whole discussion about that, which we'll talk about. And then the Japanese designs at the very end were really beautiful, and some in the new yarns, and they're really just wearable sweaters for fall. So we're all really excited to just get started and talk to people, talk to our wonderful designers. I mean, these are the cream of the crop in the industry. And so really happy that you all joined us.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And Carla, you mentioned you don't know where we're all coming from. So let me give you a little bit of a hint where some of the folks are from.
Yes.
We got Jillian Goldrich and Nancy Robertson from Connecticut. Let's see, Elaine Dawson from Norfolk, Virginia. Lois Donato Goldner. I can't remember where Lois is from. Amber Kruger, welcome. Debbie Andretta. Kristen Parkhurst from Connecticut. Gloria Hummel Thies Deb Massa from Pennsylvania, Darren from Cape Cod, Donna from Connecticut. Wow, look at all these people. Bev Reiser, all in to listen to you all. Michelle Mingo Lewis and Kim Kirchstetter from Connecticut. Let's see, Thomas Gunning. Hi, Thomas. And Beth Ann Wilkes is from out west. Colleen Powell. We've got Mary Summers from Pennsylvania. Elaine Dawson said, I just saw this at my local yarn shop and I love it. It's awesome. From Michigan, Oriana Christina Bruno's with us. Cindy Kelly was here yesterday from New Hampshire. Glad to see you made it back home safely, Cindy. And let's see, who else do we have here? I've got notifications coming in at the same time. Mary Carrion from South Carolina, Worcester, Sandy Deno, and we have Jenny Giacomini from California. So we're literally all over the map.
Fantastic.
Thank you so very much. And Lori just tuned in from Carbondale, Illinois. So Nikki, we are going to ask you to kick it off for us.
Right. Well, let me just introduce her really quickly. Hey, Nikki. This is Nicky Epstein. She and I have been in the industry for a long time. And she comes from New York City in Chinatown, and lovely, lovely apartment there. I go there every couple of weeks and we hang out and have a good time and talk about knitting and all that cool stuff. So it was really wonderful that we could have her as our designer focus in this issue. So Nikki, let's talk about your beautiful, beautiful cardigan.
What do you want to know?
Well, let's see. I mean,
well, it's the only solid color in the Noro magazine.
That's true.
And the Hanui silk, the Hanui silk comes in neutrals. Am I right, Carla? Just neutrals.
That is correct. Yes. It's all the it's not dyed at all. It's from the sheep. The actual colors from the sheep. Yes.
Right. Well, I've had a wonderful time designing it. The cables and the shape. Are there questions, or you just want me to talk about it?
Well, I just want you to talk about where you got that design from, and what I love about this piece is the way that you've it's not pleats, but the way that you the swing coat, you call it. It's so flattering on so many.
Exactly. Yeah.
Types. And the cables in there, which are my favorite, and the collar. I mean, all the elements of that you're so well known for. So
what I like about it is it's self-edged. When I was doing a little swatch, I noticed that the cable had a point, so I took advantage of that and made the edging self-edging. There's no edge on it. Those are actually the cables that form the point. So I thought that was kind of nice.
And on the sleeve, and the center of the sleeve, there's a point as well with the cable, right?
Right. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Yes.
Edwardian cuff point.
Yep.
And then I hit when it was finished. I felt like it needed some more interest, so I did the simple daisy stitches on the neck. Originally, it had some beads in it.
We tried a darker color of the Hanui silk, and then we went with the tone on tone, which I think.
But I have to tell you, looking at all in the shop of the yarn colors, I'd love to see this done in a multicolor Noro yarn. I think it would be fabulous. Yes. And then pull out some of the flower colors for the flowers. Somebody do that out there.
Well, Hanui silk is the colors in it are natural, but there's a nice variety of the.
Right. Oh, absolutely. But I think it could be done in another same weight, Noro. Isn't Silk Gardens about the same weight, isn't it?
Yeah.
It would look interesting in a color. Beautiful. Yeah.
If someone does it, I want to see it.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. You can see the comments coming in from everybody. Here, I'm trying to put them up. Maria Brandt says, I love the designs in this magazine. Up a little farther, I don't know if you noticed that Michelle Mingo Lewis called you Nikki the cable girl. Nikki, I think she loves your cables on this one. And the embroidery on the lapel.
Thank you.
Don't
let that embroidery frighten you. It's a very simple daisy stitch.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think Carla, you had mentioned about the swing coat and the design on the bottom. I think it's the whole shape is very flattering for all figures. Really very, very nice.
Yes, yes.
Very
The
pretty.
cable stays the same, and the decreases are in the purl stitches in between.
Right. Right. So it's really much
Very
easier.
easy.
Yeah, it really is very easy and easy to size and easy to make it,
And it's also on a 9 needle, so it goes quickly.
Yeah.
Yep, we're loving that. Especially because we want to get as many winter sweaters done as we possibly can.
Right. Absolutely.
So
Exactly.
that's lovely. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Nikki on the sweater? If you do, just pop them in the comment section.
And of course, Nikki's collar is perfectly shaped, right?
Thank you, Deborah.
Something that I appreciate is a collar that has a beautiful shape. Great job, Nikki.
Thank you. And I love your Afghan. I'm not going to make it, but I love it.
I wasn't prompting you.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Well,
you know, Deb and I started out together in this industry.
Oh, did you really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very, very nice. It's great to see that you're still friends too. It's wonderful.
Love her. Yes.
Friends last forever. That's what's good, right? Real friends
That's
last forever.
right.
Yeah.
So if any questions come up, Nikki, we can come back to you later. So thank you so much for sharing with all
Thank
of
you.
us.
Thank
So
you.
Bye.
Stay on and whenever you interject anytime you want to when we're talking.
Oh, okay.
So
Absolutely.
yes, that's what we're here for. To just kind of, schmooze. Okay, let's go to Sandi Prosser. Hi, my dear. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. And Sandi comes from
Toronto.
Toronto. Yes, Toronto, Canada.
Where we're having Thanksgiving this weekend. So
That's right. So we're interrupting the Thanksgiving dinner.
that was all done yesterday.
Oh, good.
I'm good. It's leftovers, fend for yourself night.
No, you don't do this tradition. You don't do the American dinner, do you?
Oh yeah, turkey.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay.
I
Okay.
think it's a British thing. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, apple pie, pumpkin pie.
Okay.
Wow. Good for you. Just like us just earlier.
Yes. Ours, I think, is tied to the fall harvest. I think is what it's tradition.
Makes a little more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nancy Robertson is wishing you a happy Thanksgiving and telling us that she loves Toronto. so welcome, Sandi.
Yeah. So Sandi's an amazing designer, and we've been working together for a long time. And she's done 2 beautiful designs. The first one is in the Southwestern theme. You want to show that one first, which is it's called Flagstaff.
I'm going to take it off the mannequin and put it on a hanger because the mannequin is too heavy for me to lift.
Okay. The sweater. So you're going to describe the sweater a bit, Sandi, and what?
So it's in Hanui cotton, which is a new yarn for Noro. It's knit. I'm trying to remember how I did it. It's knit in the round from the bottom up.
Yes.
And then once the arms are joined, it's done with raglan shaping. So it's a fitted raglan sweater, but it's all knit in the round. And there's a Fair Isle block that's about 6 inches deep that transitions from one color into the next color.
Right.
And because
It's beautiful.
Because the colors are so subtly changed, the graphic is quite bold. Because if you do anything fine and detailed, it doesn't show up. It doesn't read as anything's happening. So the zigzags are more prominent, and the design is more blocked that way to take advantage of the 2 different colors.
Right. And I think the idea with the Hanui cotton, which was new for fall, is that they did put some colors in that were dyed. These are not the Hanui sheep that were orange, so they did put a little dye in the cotton, I believe.
Yes, I think that's what they did. They put the dye in the cotton. Kind of like the lime and the coconut, right?
Exactly. I love this sweater. It's great.
Beautiful yarn, and then with the raglan shaping, it just makes it fit better than sometimes the yolks tend to be a little sloppier.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And
It's more-
and I just like the structure of a raglan, so I just leaned naturally towards that when I was designing it.
I like the raglan sleeve. I think it's a nice shaping on the sweater.
It's a lot of math, Paula. It's a lot of math.
Oh, that's a lot of math, a lot of size.
That's why we have people like you, and and people like me appreciate people like you.
Okay.
Saying that, Sandy.
I always say, without the designers, I would just have a bunch of yarn in my shop.
Absolutely.
That's it. So,
Okay. Then we have this amazing blanket Afghan that Sandy did, and it's called Jenga. You want to talk about this one?
So Jenga was a lot of fun to do. There's 7 different colors. You can do it in any color you want. I would just suggest you make sure you have a balance between the dark colors and the light colors, because you need the light colors for the pop to work.
mm-hmm.
It's knit in strips, so it's quite easy to do. It's quite easy to handle because you're not trying to work on a lot of stitches at once. I think one panel may be 43 stitches and that's it.
Right.
There's a chain stitch up one edge that acts so that when you're joining them, you knit the last stitch of this second strip into the loop of the previous stitch row or block. So you join it as you go.
Yeah.
You join it as you go. Oh, cool.
You join it as you go. So it's not bulky to work with. And
yeah, we're losing you a little bit, Sandy.
So someone in my house is on Wi-Fi when I told them all to stay off. Sorry about that. But each strip is about 10.5 inches wide, and within each strip there are 10.5-inch blocks that are alternating colors. And then the 2 outer colors of each block form the middle of the next block. If you know it's there, you can see it quite easily. If you don't know, you just think it's a lot of different colors. But there was a lot of thought gone into how all these colors were going to interconnect with each other.
Was that math again, Nikki?
And that's what makes it so beautiful.
It's just a lot of you beside you and you beside you and what's going to happen down here with you beside you. No math, just visual Jenga.
That sounds more like a seating chart.
Did you use a computer, Sandy, to kind of put the colors together, or no?
I did blocks on the computer and sort of roughed in colors, but a lot of it was just manipulating the skeins in front of me and seeing where they would end up being. But I did use the computer eventually just to lay it all out. But then I found as I was knitting it, I did change where certain colors were. So it does happen. What you think is going to look right when it's staring on a screen, and when you start working with it, sometimes it just needs a little change.
Well, it's a great blanket. It's wonderful. It looks so casual and cozy.
And it was very fun. And I can attest it was very fast because, as Carla knows, it had to do.
Super rewarding for a beginning knitter because it looks so sophisticated and complicated when it's done, and to be able to do it, it's really beautiful, wonderful.
There's no sewing, there's no edgings. It's just as you do that strip, it's done, which is nice.
Okay, so Michelle is asking. So it said it was done in strips and then connected as you went. So do you do a full strip and then start adding the second strip? Is that how you do it?
Yes, you knit one whole strip, and then when you cast on, and join the second strip to the first strip.
Okay.
And the chain stitch, because you're slipping the first and last stitch of every row, or the first stitch of every row, it creates that chain, and that's where you join the last stitch of the working strip with that chain of the previous strip.
Right. So you're joining it every 2 rows, and because it's garter stitch,
Yeah.
it means that it's nice and even, and you don't have to worry about sewing it together at the end.
Yeah,
And
I like that.
the detail of the seam. You get a visual seam that isn't a needle seam.
Right,
if that
right. It's not sewn. It's a stitch. It's a stitched seam. Yeah, really pretty. Let me see if I can show. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show the detail of the seam on there.
But it's all garter stitch, so it's
Yep.
very beginner friendly.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent.
You can make it bigger or smaller, however you want, because you can. It's easy to just add another strip.
Or
Lori
smaller.
Patchmartin,
Yes.
Lori Patchmartin is asking, is the strip vertical or horizontal?
vertical.
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 Knitted horizontal and grows vertical.
Correct.
Yeah, it's 4 strips worked vertically.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, this is fun. I'm going to have to look this one up and see how many skeins it takes of each color. I do love this one.
If memory serves, Paula, I think it was 2 skeins of each color. So
Not
14 total.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
And Sandy, you were right. I just looked it up. Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
2 of each color.
2 of each color.
Perfect.
Yep.
And
Nikki,
just
how many skeins, Nikki, did you use for your beautiful cable coat? Do you remember?
Oh, sorry. Wait, I muted her so that we could have the documents. What was that?
You muted me. I've been saying all these intelligent things. And you muted me.
I'm so sorry.
Just for that, I'm not answering. I think it was 7.
I'm so
7?
sorry. I'm so
7,
sorry.
yeah. Yeah, I think it was 7.
Am I still muted?
No, I promise I will not mute you again.
There's 13 ice creams being eaten right here in front of me.
See?
They're all eating ice cream cones. I thought that would keep them quiet, but it's not
I was
working.
going to say, is that for them quiet?
Sandy, how many individual colors did you use in
in which?
the blanket? How many individual
7.
colors?
7 colors. 7 colors.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people could pick their favorite 7 colors if, and sort of substitute, right? For the darks and lights and brights. So
Yeah, and there's so many fabulous colors in Majara.
right.
Because I didn't look, Carla, in the issue. Was there a schematic, like a
Yes,
finished-
there's a color chart.
right.
Right.
Could easily
that shows the
right.
it's a diagram that shows the color.
Right.
Colors. Yep.
So map out where they want to change colors because it's right there. Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Someone is asking, Nikki, if you're still working. You want to explain to the group what's happening with Nicky Epstein at the moment?
Oh, I'm still working. Once in a while, I've actually got a book proposal out right now, but I had some health issues I had to deal with. So, but I'm still traveling and doing things for Nora once in a while. Yeah.
Cool. And you are currently do you have a knitting group with you? Is that what we?
Yes, right now. Yes, I have a knitting club in my building.
Okay.
Yes,
And she's the perfect teacher.
we're the Chatham Green. We call ourselves the Chatham Green Yum Yum Yak Yak Knit Club because we eat and we talk. but we've done some wonderful charity work. We did an Afghan and raffled it off for St. Jude's. We thought we would make a couple hundred, but maybe $500. We made over $2,000 for St. Jude's.
Awesome.
And now we're raffling off a Big Apple knitting Afghan that we did, and the girls, it was their first time within charge, and they did a beautiful job, right, Carla?
Oh, they did
You
amazing.
saw it. Yeah,
Different colors, and it was
there was
amazing.
a lot of whining, but they did it. Yeah, and we're going to donate. We're going to donate that to the Bowery Mission for battered women.
Oh, how nice! What wonderful!
Really
Thank you.
wonderful, thing. And I think you taught a lot of them from scratch, right?
I'm sorry.
We taught a lot
Yeah.
of them to learn from scratch. Yes.
Yeah, many of them. Yeah.
I just wanted to show, this is what they were talking about before as far as the,
Yeah, sorry it was so small, Sandy, but you know, the issues I have with, I have so many pages and have to fit everything in. So,
oh, no, it certainly gives me an idea if I was a knitter where, where things would be,
Yeah.
where they fit in. So that's great. That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And keep up that wonderful charity work, Nikki.
Thank you.
Really cool. We do every time we have an event at Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl, we have a charity component to it, and raised some money yesterday for High Hopes, which is a equestrian therapy organization that works with children to adults. So yeah,
Well,
that's wonderful.
Colette, if you're interested, you're welcome to the designs, the Afghan designs that I've done for charity if you want.
Well, thank you. We'll chat about that.
Sure.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Okay, Carla, what's next?
hey, Deborah Newton. Hello, Deborah. Again, Deborah's been with us a few times, as Sandy has, and he and I also, I guess the three of us have been in the industry, started together, I think. We won't say what year, but it was, a while ago. But
I have to say, Carla was the first person I met in the industry.
Yeah.
So we do have that unique connection.
Yes,
after
we do.
many years of working. And Nicky, of course, I met soon after.
Yeah. So Deborah's also an amazing designer. Has written lots of books as well, and loves knitting with Noro. And she's got a lovely jacket called Tahoe.
Yeah, let me show that one.
And that is in.
That's Madara also.
Madara also. Right.
I
Which
love
is-
that jacket.
Yeah. One of the newer yarns, right, Madara? No, that was an older yarn. Sorry.
That was from last year,
Yeah, that's from last year. Yeah.
last winter.
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted a simple little jacket that would be easy to wear, easy to knit, and I kind of wanted the focus to be the collar. Sometimes I'll say, oh, I want to design something so that I can make a beautiful collar. And just like Nicky, that collar was the focus on yours in some ways, with the embroidery too. So there's a little short row. It's very easy. It's a drop shoulder and a little bit of short rowing on the collar. If you've never done short rowing, it's a great place to learn. And I put a little texture, simple seed stitch. So, and the sleeve is not full length. It's like a 3/4, 7/8 length sleeve, so that it's kind of, I don't know, a little more springy, summery. And the buttons, if anyone's interested, I did find those buttons on Etsy. They're handmade. So they were a perfect complement in terms of color. Huh, Carla?
Really beautiful. Yes. I think I put the information in the instructions.
They're
Yes.
a button, aren't they? Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
a ceramic handmade button. Yes.
Perfect color just for that yarn.
I
Yes.
know. So Madara is a really great yarn, though, very trans-seasonal. You can wear it in any season, and so I loved it. I loved making it. It was very pretty yarn. Just subtle colors, subtle changes, and
Got a little tweedy,
little tweedy,
Yeah.
Beautiful drape, beautiful. Everybody knows who's worked with it. It's got a beautiful drape. It really does. So. What more could you ask for, right?
Right. I love the difference in the stitching and the way the back joins the top and the bottom. Can you see that there? I don't know if
I put a little reverse stockinette ridge to kind of bridge the stockinette and the seed stitch, so it didn't just go into the little detail.
Yep.
So
and those little details make a big difference. They sure do.
And that yarn shows off. Well.
I like things to have. I like when I design something to have something in the works to look forward to. You're working towards that ridge or that area of seed stitch. It makes it more interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Donna Masung says she loves this one. And Kristen Parkhurst and her mom, actually Kristen Parkhurst and her mom stopped in the shop yesterday when we were cleaning up after the event, and they were on their way to another place. And said, oh, let's just see if they're still there. And we were. So they stopped in yesterday. And Cindy Kelly's asking a question. How much ease should be in the Tahoe? Deborah, is there a lot of ease in the Tahoe?
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
I would plan it to have some drape. I wouldn't want to make it be the same measurement that your body is. So I would say choose anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of ease.
Yep.
I think 8 is nice because I always say when you pinch the side, 2, 4, if you pinch 2 inches on either side, that's 8 inches. It's
Right.
really less than you think it is,
Right.
So
that's one thing that's hard for people to understand, that 8 inches of ease is not that much.
No, it isn't. Especially if you want to show off the fabric.
Yes.
If the yarn and the fabric has that wonderful drape the way Madara does, you don't want it to be very close to your body. You want to be able to see the fabric move as you wear it.
Right. And you're probably going to wear it over something too. So you want to.
And that's another thing. In this season, you will.
Right.
Yep. Very, very pretty. Very lovely.
I love that cardigan too. I love it.
I would make and wear that if I had the time.
I thought of you, Carla.
And that color too. I would love to make it and wear it. I might make it a little longer for me.
In the skein, I have to say, Paulette, in the skein, the yarn looks darker than when it's knit up.
Okay.
So you can see how light it looks, but if your customer looks at the skein next to it, you'll see that the skein is often a little darker than the actual knitted fabric is.
Good to know. Good to know. Excellent. All right. Let me put this away. All right. What else do we have here, Carla? We were going to chat.
I wanted to show some of the garments with the new yarn Tasogare, because we haven't seen it. I love this new yarn. It's the cover sweater here, which I absolutely love this sweater. Look at the beautiful. They seem to be doing a little more different colorways in Noro. They're not always so bright. They're putting in a little more subtle, very pretty colors. I think this is just, we had many cover tries, and this was the one that caught everyone's eye because I think it's a new yarn and it's just really, really pretty colors.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Now, what's the composition, Carla, of that yarn?
You're going to ask me that. I should have got that right away. Do we have that off the top of my head? No.
I'm a troublemaker.
Hold
on, I can tell you.
Well, it's so pretty. I just wondered what kind of blend it is,
Usually I grab a skein, but we don't have them yet.
Oh, you don't have them yet. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so Tasogore, 60% wool, 20% silk, 20% mohair.
Beautiful.
Oh, that mohair that gives it that nice, really nice feel. Yeah.
And someone is asking, Nikki, are there any button recommendations for the cabled charisma sweater?
Let's see what
Are there any what? I missed that question.
recommendations for that. I actually got those buttons from my stock. But I think any cream color worked for me. I tried wooden ones, I tried leather ones, but I like the cream tone with it. And I think mine has a little gold spot in the middle just to make it a little dressier. So I can't, sorry. I want to say it's JHB, but they're no longer in business. So
They're not have money.
But the wooden ones, were they just too prominent?
yeah, they didn't work.
They didn't
And you need one with I would suggest a shank
Right.
button. There's lots of beautiful buttons out there. Again, like Deborah, you can go on Etsy and
Right.
beautiful shank buttons.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with the cream color though.
It's getting hot. I love vintage buttons, but it's getting harder and harder to find beautiful vintage buttons because everyone loves them. So,
Right.
you know, they're disappearing. So if you get,
Deborah, you could come to my house and have all the vintage buttons you want. Bring a big bag.
So another one of our new yarns is Rika.
Beautiful.
All right. Yeah, Rika. Yes. That's a lovely. And you're going to ask what's in Rika too, aren't you?
I
Rika,
didn't say a word.
Rika, you got it?
No, I'm looking.
In the magazine.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking.
That's a beautiful coloration in that yarn.
Mm.
Rika is, oh, I don't have it in, wool. No, here it is. It's wool, alpaca, and silk.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
have
a bulky weight.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
bulky weight. Yes.
Yep. It's got some great texture to that yarn.
Yeah, that combination of the wool, alpaca, and silk is really beautiful. Very soft. I just realized I have a page in the book with all the information on the.
There's also, and this one was also knitted in Rika. So you can see another color combination in that.
Yes, that was a beautiful, nice, really easy vest, super easy vest.
Yep. Very
They're
pretty.
very subtle color changes in those.
There are subtle. Yes, I like that about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Michelle is telling us that she cuts buttons off garments that she's getting rid of and she saves them.
Good idea.
Brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. And Jeannie is asking Nikki, because of the shaping, is it possible to make the cardigan shorter?
Absolutely. Yes.
And how would you do that, Nikki?
Do you have scissors?
No.
Yeah. I would do it at the waist, at the second table decrease. Let me look at it before I write that in stone. Anytime you're shortening, I usually do it between the waist, the decreases on the waist. Take out those rows.
Yeah.
All right.
That helps.
Yeah, and you can also just do less rows between the decreases.
Right.
You know.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a short lady.
Cut back on a repeat.
Yep.
Well, by doing that, just fewer rows between them, it keeps the proportion of the shape, right, Nikki?
Right. Yes.
You'll have to do a little bit of math, you know, which I know people don't really like to do too much math, but yeah, it's, you know, you cut out 2 or 4 rows depending on how much shorter you want it.
Yep. And Michelle is suggesting maybe you would make the cables shorter from the bottom to the waist. But you don't want to actually make them shorter. You want to just do less decreasing, right?
Less decreasing, right? Because the size of the cables won't make it that shorter.
Right.
It'll not. The proportion
You
is
could really make it
between the decreases.
And you could do it the same, probably, and make it shorter, go as far as you want until the armpit, and then just start your decrease there. Just make sure you have enough stitches. There's where you might have to do some calculating. That's really the easiest way to just make it the length you want to your armhole.
Yeah.
Right. So you're just picking the whole thing up that way.
Right. Follow suit.
Body. Right. It's coming up. Okay. Yeah, we're learning how to adjust things now.
I mean, I think everyone, you know, it's really good to think about that because no one has the exact same body measurements, and
right.
You know, you really always have to be able to make the sleeve shorter, longer, you know, all of those things. So because it's impossible to get everybody's shape same. You know, you could have a much bigger bust and a much shorter arm. You know, you have to know your body very well. And
absolutely. And as we're knitting things, one of the nice things is we can try them on, even if it's not a top down, if it's bottom, you can, you know, while you're working on it, you just put it up against your body if you have to, or a favorite dress, a favorite sweater that you have.
That's the best way, is to take something that fits you exactly the way you want it to fit you, and you take those measurements off of that piece, and then you adjust your knitted garment to that, those measurements.
Yep. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you
Yep.
for all those tips.
Yep.
So Deborah, tell us about that lovely blanket that you designed last year.
What a pleasure. It was such a treat.
It was fabulous. It's fabulous, Deborah.
And well, I was a little daunted at the beginning, you know. I was like, how do I do this? Nicky knows because she's done intarsia groupings before, and you know, you always hope the images will work together. And I wanted to use a wide variety of colors, and then I wanted to pick some iconic images that kind of represented Japan. And
We were talking about this one being one of your favorites, right?
that's my favorite. Yeah, the teacups and the teapot.
I love it.
What, Nicky?
It was my favorite until I saw the frog.
Well, I've loved watching the people of folks from our shop and people who have ordered the kit from us, watching their blankets grow, literally
Yes.
grow, and having such fun with them and helping them to choose colors. And I like this blue better here than that blue. I want my waves to be 3 different colors, and just look at that, how pretty. Yeah.
Well, you know, Paulette, I also saw it as I always feel bad that people are, and Nicky will agree with me, people are daunted by intarsia. So I thought, well, this is a project where by the end of the blanket, you won't fear intarsia anymore. And the squares are small enough. They're only 10 inches. So, you know, you get to learn some new techniques, and there was some stranded color work and also some duplicate stitch. So, you know, you really get your bag of tricks filled up on this one because you learn so many new techniques. And of course, Carla's videos that went along with it are so helpful and so clear that it's really nice. So I just kind of I had fun doing it, and I wanted people to have fun with the images too.
And what yarn was that made with?
Silk Garden. And Silk Garden
Solo.
Yeah.
Silk Garden and Silk Garden Solo. Yeah.
Solo.
We had
How many skeins did you use, Deborah?
20. No, wait, was it?
I'm being silly.
we kept it.
How many colors? I'm trying to think. I think there were
20
skeins, but 10 colors. I think there were 10. I don't know. I can't remember. I just had fun. And, you know, you could use your stash because if you had a color that you really wanted to use, you wouldn't need too much of it. But the solid squares, which are kind of graded or solid, depending on which yarn, those you can pull individual colors out of those skeins and use them in other places. So
and that's exactly what people were doing. And it made, you know, it was, and it also lended just that spark of creativity from each person too. But what I think when you mentioned the intarsia and the duplicate stitch, it was like a sampler of learning too along the way. It was so great because it wasn't a cumbersome piece to do something new on.
Right.
So Carla, where do those videos live somewhere now that people can access?
Yes, they do. They're on YouTube. They're on the Knitting Fever YouTube.
Okay.
Channel. So you just Google knitting, go on to Knitting Fever, and you'll see all their videos come up, but you'll see the a voyage knit along videos.
It's not just the knitting techniques, Paulette, but the seaming and the picking stitches and stuff. So Carla did a great job describing everything
and all that. And at the end, Deborah and I got together and did a Zoom and talked about the whole process and how much fun it was and all of that.
Fun.
So it was great.
And I think, you know, to do something that has smaller squares that you can kind of just get through that square and learn something, and then you can do a plain square and just relax, right? So that was my goal, was to have this on-off kind of thing where you could be challenged and then relax, and then, you know, when the whole thing, and I'm glad it all came together fairly well, because I wasn't quite sure about my, you know, about my arrangement and stuff, and I wasn't, you know, even though I'm experienced, it's always an adventure to put colors together, but it's a testament to Noro that all these colors work.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, they sure do. They sure do. They work really well together. It doesn't matter. Just pick 2 colors and they're going to be fine together.
Right, exactly.
Right. And also on the Facebook group,
Yeah.
there were people who said that they wanted a different motif, and they
Design their own.
and it was unbelievably beautiful. It was, you know, and that's what it's all about.
Right.
So they weren't afraid to, it's like, I didn't really like this one, so I wanted to do something else, and they found a picture and they made it, and it looked gorgeous, and
It was awesome. Everybody got excited, and some people's blankets were bigger because they added more squares. And so you know, it was really a lot of fun. But the pillow that I did came out of an image that we ended up not using.
Right.
And that was the frog who's looking at the butterfly. Can everybody see it? I don't know if you can see it.
yeah.
And there's no seaming. The whole thing is joined by 3 needle bind off. And on the back, it says Lucky Frog. So you can use all of your techniques that you've learned on the, and the edging is a mitered corner, and the front and back trims are different. So this was a lot of fun. The pattern for this is on my Ravelry page, Deborah Newton. My name on Ravelry is all one word. So, but I like his kind of, his expression of like, can I get that?
I know.
It's like he just swallowed a fly.
Yes.
Exactly.
But we all need a lucky pillow, don't we? You know?
Yes.
We all need luck. So
Excellent. Well, that's a lot of fun. The blanket was great. The frog is fantastic. We've got some new blankets now this year. I learned with your blanket, this being we just finished our first year with brick and mortar. I learned how many people love to knit blankets. It's a big thing for a lot of people. Yeah. And so I'm looking forward, Sandi, to yours and getting some fun mileage out of that one with our fans, because it just looks like another one of those great easy projects that people can just knit along through the winter on.
Yes.
Definitely. Yep. Excellent. Excuse me 1 second. I'm just going to grab our sharing bucket and pull a name out of there.
Okay.
What I was going to say was using Silk Garden and Silk Garden Solo for Deborah's blanket was perfect because it's not tightly twisted.
Right.
So it's very forgiving when you're.
It's such a soft. It's just a soft. It's beautiful. I'm a little chilly in the studio here, so it's kind of good to wrap up in it.
And you know, Sandi, when you're doing intarsia and those edges meet, it's nice to have some yarns that grab, right, Nicky? You know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it sort of blends in and almost mushes together. So if you're slightly loose when you're twisting them, it doesn't show up in the same way as a yarn that's very tightly twisted.
That's a good point. Yes.
Deb, was there any blocking to this, Deb?
Yeah, you know, you could wet block it or you could steam it.
But what did you do?
What did I do? I very uncharacteristically wet block it.
I know.
I usually steam everything. But you know what I learned with Silk Garden is that it really blooms and softens when it's wet blocked. So that's what I did. Paul, and if you want to do a raffle, I'm happy to give a frog pattern away tonight for free.
Oh, let me go grab another name. Thank you. Okay, so I
just need an email to send it to.
Yep, no problem. We'll get that off to you. All right, so I pulled 2 names out of the bucket at once before. The first one, though, that I just grabbed now is going to be for Deborah's generosity, and that one's going to go to Vasilia Shapoval. So Vasilia Shapoval, you are the winner of from the frog pillow pattern.
Great.
And
So all I need is an email address.
I will get that to you. And then the other two are they're all going to be Noro prizes tonight. So Donna Nahalo is one winner, and the other is, oh my God, these ladies are friends. Jillian Goldrich. Can't believe it. Two of our regulars. So that's wonderful. I'm going to have to reach out to Vasilia on Facebook because she is not a regular. So I will have to find out her address for you, her email address for you, Donna, Debbie. I will let you know.
Sure.
Donna Nahalo saying thank you for a great show and congratulations to me. So, so Carla, Nikki, Sandi, and Deborah, thank you so much. You all make it such a pleasure to do this show every season with you. I really appreciate all your help and helping us to promote these wonderful yarns in this fabulous magazine.
Yeah, it was fun to see you all.
Pleasure.
Thank
We
you.
love Noro too.
Okay, well, I am going to sign off, everyone. You have a great week. Stay
Thank you.
safe. We
Thank
love
you,
you all.
everyone.
And we'll look forward to the next season, ladies. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Right now.
Bye.